Oh, our woke welfare recipients in the WNBA have been so busy this past weekend. I will give these ladies some credit. There are some people on welfare who game the system. The largest amount of effort they put forth every month is walking to their mailbox on the first of the month and collecting their check. But not our woke welfare recipients in the WNBA. No, no, no. These ladies are earning their welfare. They worked hard this past weekend. It all started on Friday. The NBA, the WNBA, they joined forces. Well, KC, does this mean we're going to see NBA players in the WNBA? No, at least not right now. It wouldn't shock me, though, if I woke up one morning and Draymond Green decided that he was going to start identifying as Sue Bird and start playing for the New York Lezzies. Last Friday, the NBA, WNBA, they joined forces for a far greater cause. They released a joint statement announcing their stance on abortion rights. Now, of course, they released this statement on the NBA's Twitter account so people would actually see it. The WNBA Twitter account, they get about 600 impressions every month. I actually received an email from a viewer last week. She was scrolling through her Twitter feed. A live WNBA game happened to pop up. She told me there were 6 people watching. 6 people. I told her next time to get a screenshot for me so I could show it to you guys, but we're going to get into the latest WNBA ratings here in just a second. Don't worry. I can kind of understand why the WNBA is trying to be front and center on the abortion issue. For one, unlike the NBA, the WNBA, they don't have any fans to alienate, so they don't risk pissing people off. But 2, this dump needs all the attention that it can get. No one talks about the product on the court. There's no such thing as a WNBA analyst writing for The Athletic. For the WNBA, protesting abortion, it's just free publicity. But for the NBA, I keep saying the same thing. The NBA cannot get out of its own way. Ratings for the NBA Finals were shit. You've already pissed off, half your fan base with your stance on gun control, and now you piss them off again by aligning yourself with the dump and other filthy people in the streets by supporting the woke United Methodists in their fight against the Supreme Court? The NBA was the only major sports league that issued a statement on the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The only one. The NFL left it alone. NHL left it alone. Major League Baseball, in a move that surprised me, left it alone. Not the NBA, though. No. We cannot allow our men in the WNBA to fight alone. We must stand by our bearded ladies in their fight to remain without child. Until last week, I wasn't even aware that child care and pregnancy were key issues in the WNBA. Most of these women are tag teaming the woke cucumber, or they can't find a man to get into their woke bed. You have a better chance of finding a fat man in Ethiopia than a pregnant woman in the WNBA. Our woke welfare recipients, they've also been fighting hard to get Lady Liberty back home. I shared with you guys, I think it was last week, how Brittney Griner and her wife coordinated a phone call 2 weeks in advance with the U.S. Embassy. The call was supposed to take place Saturday before last. When Brittney Griner dialed the number given to her by the embassy, she received the message, "We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check your woke welfare and try again later. Goodbye." As you guys know, Brittney Griner, she's been on a woke vacation in Russia the past 4 months. Have you guys ever been on a vacation and the trip was so good, it was so much fun that you wish it wouldn't end? You get down to the final day and you wish you could stay another week, maybe even another month? Apparently, Brittney Griner, she is experiencing one of those legendary vacations herself. It was announced yesterday that Brittney Griner was having so much fun in Russia, her vacation was extended another 6 months. My inside sources in Russia, they were able to capture a special moment from her trip. Check it out for yourself. Here we see Brittney Griner heading to a woke brothel. She was so excited, she put the handcuffs on before even walking in. You see her handcuffed to Anya. My sources tell me Anya is her bodyguard as well as her wife while she's on her Russian vacation. Look at them there, having the time of their lives. Looks like Brittney Griner maybe even got some new tattoos during her vacation. The trial for Brittney Griner is set to begin on Friday. Her agent, along with her fellow woke welfare recipients in the WNBA, they are ramping up the pressure on the Biden administration to get her released immediately. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, he told CNN over the weekend, "I have no higher priority than to bring Americans who are illegally detained overseas back home." The WNBA took this as a small victory, but this was nothing but a virtue signal from the Biden administration. For one, Anthony Blinken, clearly he's not talking about Brittney Griner. He said his top priority is to bring home illegally detained Americans. Brittney Griner is not illegally detained. She broke the fucking law. It's illegal in Russia to possess hash. She tried to bring it through the fucking airport. Sounds like a clear violation of the law to me. The WNBA, they are asking Joe Biden to release Russian arms dealer Victor Bout in exchange for Brittney Griner. What? You can't be serious. Victor Bout is one of the most dangerous criminals in the world. He was convicted of supplying weapons to forces fighting against the American military. This man possesses something Brittney Griner never has: skills. The only skill Brittney Griner has is curing insomnia. Victor Bout has a dangerous skill set. This would be like me walking up to a guy driving a Rolls Royce and telling him to trade me his car in exchange for my Dodge Dart. The WNBA and the mainstream media, they are doing everything they can to keep Brittney Griner in the spotlight here in America. The WNBA named her an honorary All-Star. All-Star voting in this dump was a colossal failure. Not one WNBA player managed to gain 100,000 votes, and people could vote repeatedly. Just for comparison purposes, the least voted All-Star in the NBA received over 400,000 votes. In the WNBA, it was 17,000. There were even a handful of players who received one vote. BET, they nominated Brittney Griner as Sportswoman of the Year. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Actually, the category should have been called Biggest Victim of the Year because Naomi Osaka won the award. She came through with such groundbreaking performances, like constantly crying in front of the media, dropping out of tournaments due to emotional stress. But at least she won the Australian Open. The only thing Brittney Griner's won recently is a free pair of handcuffs and a Russian hall pass. The Russians, though, they are not fucking around with Brittney Griner. I've seen varying reports, but she's facing the real possibility of spending the next 10 years in a Russian prison. And right now, her only saving grace is Joe Biden, who has yet to solve one problem in 18 months. I wonder if Brittney Griner and the WNBA regret their decision to be anti-Trump and pro-Biden. It's a case of be careful what you wish for. These woke welfare recipients, they hated Donald Trump. They hate America. They claim we're oppressors. If that's the case, why is Brittney Griner wanting back here so badly? The Brittney Griner news, though, that was not the only bleak news for the WNBA this past weekend. The struggle continues for the dump to attract anything but extra garbage to their charity basketball events. Yesterday, my local water and sanitation department reached out to me. They noticed my trash usage had spiked since the beginning of May. I've been occupying extra space at the dump. They just wanted to make sure I didn't have a water leak, a problem, pool problems, anything like that. I told them everything was fine. I've just increased my coverage of the WNBA the past 6 or 8 weeks. They replied, well, that makes perfect sense. In the past week, we were given the gift of 11 nationally televised WNBA games. 11. When I counted out that number, I couldn't believe it. I could not fucking believe it. 11 nationally televised WNBA games. How many nationally televised games does Major League Baseball get in a week? 4? Maybe 5? Major League Baseball, they draw over 1 million viewers on ESPN, maybe 2 million on Fox, few 100,000 on TBS. Baseball ratings are not great, but they're a hell of a lot better than WNBA ratings. I thought television networks were in the business of drawing an audience. How can you possibly justify, given this dump, 11 nationally televised games in 7 days? Of course, 10 of 11 games failed to make the top 150 shows on cable. NBA games on NBA TV, they routinely draw 400,000 viewers. NBA TV, they broadcast 2 WNBA games on Saturday. They were beaten by something called Fox Deportes in Vivo Weekend on a channel called Fox Deportes. Whatever the fuck that program is, it drew 38,000 viewers Saturday night. Meaning, the WNBA is failing to outdraw programs broadcast in another language on a Spanish-speaking network. The one WNBA game that managed to penetrate the Nielsen scale was an exciting matchup Wednesday night on ESPN2 between the New York Lezzies and Connecticut Cucumbers. Oh, it was a nail-biter. Total of 65 points scored in the second half and a total of 111,000 viewers on ESPN2. That is a decline of 64% from the average viewed WNBA game from last season. Woke politics is not killing the WNBA. The problem with this league is the product on the court. Check out some recent highlights for yourself. I wonder why the majority of Americans are unwilling to pay to go to these games. Attendance throughout the WNBA this past weekend was a disaster. Average gate around 5,500 fans a game, which this dump classifies as a success, a sellout. If you take out the strong number from the Seattle Shitfucks, which is the only team in this league that somewhat draws, WNBA attendance this past weekend was around 4,600 a game. I had sources outside all 7 WNBA arenas asking fans, why are you wasting your time? Why would you spend $50 to attend the local dump? 95% of fans polled said they came to watch the bloopers. In other words, they were expecting to watch stand-up comedy. But anyway, let me know what you think. Will Brittney Griner spend the next 10 years in a Russian prison? Should we be fighting to bring her back home, or do you think she should just stay her ass in Russia? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.